Turn to page 7, point slope form. Point slope form is one of the 3 formulas that you'll deal with when talking about linear equations. And in this, what you're given is you're given a point, and then you're given a slope. So basically what I need you to know is you're going to be filling in these numbers. So every time we start one of these, what we're going to do is we're going to open up with the skeleton. So we'll put numbers here, here, and here. On this very first one, it says this time we're given 2 points, and it wants us to put it in point slope form. Well, this one requires a little bit more work than the others because you're required to find the slope first. But we learn how to find slope from 2 points. So remember, when you're finding slope from 2 points, you're going to subtract your y's, and then you're going to subtract your x's. And what we should have learned is that if you want to call point 1 or point 2, it doesn't matter which one you call as long as you keep it in the same order. So this is going to be our starting point every time when we're trying to find the slope of something. We're trying to find slope. So this is -3, 7. And then on the bottom, this is 2 and 4. So when you use your calculator, and this is a different version than you have, but it does the same thing. So alpha y equals enter. Sorry. So we're going to type this in just the way we see it. Now it's important that you don't separate that minus. I've seen some of y'all separate it as in it was 2 different fractions, but it's 1 whole fraction. So our slope on here is 5. So here I know my slope is 5. Now, you get to pick which one is point 1 and point 2. Since this is our very first one, I'm just going to use this one. I could easily use this one and it's still going to end up the same thing. So remember, what we're going to do is we're going to plug into this equation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with the skeleton. Y minus, and then I'm going to put in a number here. And I'm going to put in the y. Then I'm going to put in my m, and then x minus, then I'm going to put in my x. So now I'm just going to fill in numbers. This is -3. My slope is 5. And then my y1 is 2. So the only thing that we're going to have to do here is simplify, because anytime we have 2 negatives, or a minus and a negative next to each other, we should know that turns to a plus. So our answer is y plus 3 equals 5 times x minus 2. And then for this purpose, that's as far as we're going, because it wants it in point slope form. Now this next one's a little bit easier because it gives us the point, and it gives us the slope. So here's our slope. Here's our point. And remember, all we're going to do is plug in the numbers. We want our y. We want our slope. Then our x. So this is -3. This is -4. And then our point is 2. And just like before, since we have a minus and a negative, that just turns to a positive. So our number would be, our equation would be y plus 3 equals -4 times x minus 2. Box your answer. Alright, so this time we're given a graph, we're given an equation, and we're going to want to graph it from point slope form. So from here, there's a couple things that you should know. So here's our y. Here's our slope. And there's our x. Now the key thing to remember on this, that if this was a plus sign, our y would actually be a -2. So remember right here, when we had a plus sign, it was really minus a negative, and our number was a -3 here. Well here, since it's already a negative, we know that the number is actually 2. So our x, our y, and our m. So our x is 3, our y is 2, and our slope is 3. So just in case this was, I should label these as well just so that you know where these numbers are coming from. So this is y1, this is m, and this is x1. So this creates a point. That creates the point 3, 2. So we have a +3, 2. And then our slope is 3. So remember, I can write that as a fraction, and it's rise over run. And remember, I misspell rise because the y goes up and down, and then you run side to side. So I would have to plot the point 3, 2 first. So I would go over 1, 2, 3, up 1, 2. So that's the point. That's this guy. So now we're going to use the slope. We're going to take this and now go up 1, 2, 3 over 1. Or I could go down 1, 2, 3 over 1. And then I'm going to connect the dots. And I've created a linear graph.